Hey everyone, Anwar here, head mobility coach and recovery here at Bangtao Muay Thai. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to take you through 5 of the best neck exercises that I've ever come across in the last 20 years of teaching strength and conditioning. And these are super important to warm your body up. Well, not even just warm your body up, cool your body down and mobilize throughout the whole day. So whether you're doing these at the beginning of the workout, at the end of the workout, or at certain intervals throughout a normal strength program, these are going to be really good to strengthen and mobilize your spine. So follow along. The first one we're going to do are just simple yes, no's, and maybes. What I like to do is try to take my head through full range into a yes position. As I move my head through full range, I might cut my angle slightly, almost like I'm looking over one shoulder. I'll change my angle. And in these ranges, I'm paying attention, I'm going slow, and I'm keeping control. At any time I feel pain or discomfort, if I go too far, it might hurt my neck a little bit, or I feel a little bit of an impingement. I'm going to avoid that at the very beginning, and I'm looking at just discovering what I can do and putting blood into those areas. After about 30 seconds to a minute of the yeses, we can go into no's. We'll look over one shoulder, we'll look over the other shoulder. And what I'm doing is isolating the movement through my neck, not bringing my shoulders, my rib cage, or the rest of my body with these exercises. 30 seconds, enjoy the motion. And then we'll take that into maybes, ear to shoulder. Remember not to move the torso. And you can repeat this set as many times as you want. Once you've done 30 seconds to a minute, you're welcome to go back to the yeses, the no's, and the maybes. Next thing we're going to do is take our neck through a full neck circle. So it's a combination of those movements you've just done. It's called a neck car. The car stands for controlled articular rotations. So what we'll do is we'll take our neck through flexion. We'll then look to rotate and bring our head over towards the shoulder, and then we'll drop our ear towards that shoulder, and then we're going to lift the chin and follow the circle all the way around until I rotate to the other side. I'll take my head back through into flexion, and then I'll neutralize and come back up. And that's half a circle, so we're going to go back down into flexion. We'll rotate, we'll side bend. We'll lift the chin and take the head into extension with a rotation. We'll follow that all the way around to the other side. Back into flexion. Back up into neutral. And I like to do 3 to 5 circles of these at the beginning. And as I'm moving through my range, I'm going slow with control. I'm observing any difficulty, especially if I go to this side into a side bend and I feel something on this side of my neck. When I go to do the other side, do I feel the same? And today I don't. So this is already telling me there's something different on this side of my neck to this side here. Once you've done 3 to 5 circles, we'll then do the same thing loaded. And I like to load this on the ground. So our third exercise, safely loading the head. And you may see people loading the head in wrestling, doing like some sort of neck bridge or spine bridge. We're not doing that. Our hands are going to be on the ground, supporting the load that goes through our head. And what we're actually doing is it will almost be like you're foam rolling the surface of your head with the weight of your body. As you roll your head on the ground, you're looking to compare the sides of your head. And what you should notice is that one side of your head will be a little different. You might experience that in a flat spot or something that feels like an edge. Where you feel that, great. That's the time I want you to spend more time working and rolling around. So as I go down, my hands are down, my legs are supported, and I'm rolling the surface of my head. At any stage we're rolling, we feel any discomfort throughout the neck, that's the place we avoid. We're not rolling the head to create an impingement or difficulty through the spine. We're rolling the head to try to learn to mobilize our body around. So as I'm rolling the surface of my head and I feel discomfort on my head, that's okay. The second I feel any pain in my neck, I'm gonna change my legs, I'm gonna change my hands, I may even change the position of my head, and I'll roll in and out, and I'm looking to improve that range. I like to do the head rolling for about 3 minutes. At the very beginning, especially if you have any neck pain, 3 minutes might be too long. Start with 30 seconds, come up, retest with yes, no's, and maybes, and then retest with your neck circle, and everything feels good. Everything should feel like it improves. Go back and do more. Add more time and attention when you can. Great. Next thing we're gonna do are gonna be some neck rollings. These are gonna be spinal waves, but rather than using the whole spine, we're gonna isolate the movement just to the neck. First one's called a turtleneck, and what we're doing is we're dropping the chin down. We're then trying to push our head forwards, come all the way up, and then we'll come back and almost create this double chin tuck. I'm doing the best I can to minimize the movement throughout my spine. Once I've done a few just in neutral, same thing, I can change my angle so I can offset and test and see if this side feels as good as each direction. Next thing we're going to do is a crane neck, so it's the same movement in reverse. We'll extend, come down, come back. My first few that I do on this end up involving a bit more upper body until I get used to the movement. Once the movement feels like it's comfortable, and I feel like I can control just the cervical spine, just the neck. Same principle, I'm gonna rotate my head slightly. You'll notice that when I change in my rotation, my body's moving again. So my first objective is to minimize the movements of my neck. I'll change my direction. And I'll do the same thing. I know we're doing a neck specific drill, but what I actually like to do at the end of this is move this through the whole body, just to create a little bit of integration. And then once we've mobilized and moved the whole neck and the whole spine, I like to then put some isometrics and put some strength and kind of solidify those ranges that we may have improved. So the idea of creating mobility is to increase our range of motion. So then what we're looking to do is create strength for that new range that we've created. The easiest way to do this is, if I turn my head into, let's just say we're going to go over the shoulder into our nose, you may realize that you have a little bit more range. So what I like to do is when I go to that end range, what we're looking to do is turn our head back to the middle. So as I go to my end range, I make sure I'm not using my spine. I'll turn only in the neck. I'll find end range, no pain. I'll support. I'm not pushing with my hand. I'm pushing with my head and I'm supporting with my hand. End range, support, and then I'm going to very lightly push my head into my hand. I should be able to breathe freely, breathe easy, and create enough strength that I feel the neck muscles light up, but they're not overworking. I like to hold this for 30 to 45 seconds at the very beginning. Make sure I'm breathing easy, make sure I'm breathing free. And after about 30 seconds, I'll release. I'll initially test to make sure everything feels good. And then the same side, I'm going to look to turn more. My arm will come up. It will stop me turning more. I'm not pushing my hand into my head. I'm pushing my head into my hand. And then I'll hold that, trying to light up the neck muscles by turning, holding, and breathing. 30 to 45 seconds, easy, no pain, no discomfort. And once we've done both directions on one side, you would repeat for the other side. So what I'll do is I'll turn my head to end range. My attempt is to turn my head back and I block it. I hold, I breathe, and I do a very light contraction of my head and neck muscles in towards my hand, holding this in an isometric, breathing free. 30 to 45 seconds is how we hold at the very beginning. I'll release. I'll turn my head, make sure everything feels good before I move on to the next part. And our next part is to turn further into that circle. Hand comes up, blocks the head. Very gently turn the head into the hand. Make sure the breathing is easy. Holding this for 30 to 45 seconds. Don't overstrain anything here. Don't go to your maximum strength. You can do the same. I'm going to show you very quickly. We can do the same for the maybes. So if I turn my head towards the side, the first thing I try to do, bring my head back to center alignment. My hand will come up. I'm not pushing. I am pushing with my head. Hold. 30 to 45 seconds in this direction. Release, retest. Here, hold. 30 to 45 in this direction. Release, hold. Retest. Same on the other side. Bring my head back to the center alignment. Stabilize it. Release. Test. Hold. Release. Test. And the same thing for the yeses and nos. I always say be a little bit more careful on the yeses and nos here. Especially a lot of people have experienced pain when they bring their head up into extension. So when you go into extension, make sure it feels nice at the very beginning. Hands come in front, and I'm trying to come into a yes position. Hold it, and release. Same thing in this direction, hands will go behind. I try to extend my head further. Once your time is done, come back to the middle, and then retest. You can repeat and do everything again. Do one specific part of those movements, one specific part of those exercises, and you can just take components and repeat throughout the day, especially if you're in a place where you can sit and you can just do a quick isometric and throw those in throughout the day. Let us know how you get on. If there's any problems or questions, send me a message. Thanks, guys.